What's up, guys? How is everyone doing today? It is Friday, July 3rd at 10:02 a.m. Hopefully, wherever you are in the world, wherever you're tuning in from, you're having a great day. Time is flying. We got fights starting in less than 24 hours. All you JSB insiders, whether you're a member on YouTube or Patreon, check your slips. I just updated our slips. Last night during our live stream, I talked about the Japanese fight, if we were going to get props. Props did drop. So I am playing a knockout prop in the Naruya fight tomorrow, just to let everybody know. So check your slips. If you're not in our Discord, join now. It's a couple bucks a month. The link is pinned on the screen. It's a great way to support the channel. It's a great way to join a sports betting community, but more importantly, a really educated community about our favorite sport, boxing. But it goes way past that. It's way more than boxing. We got the World Cup on right now. The second half is about to start. Croatia versus Portugal. It's a currently 0-0. Our Discord is popping. The World Cup is popping. Tennis, MMA. I was just having a look through there. I don't think I've ever went into our tennis Discord. You guys are savages, man. I just want to give a salute to all the JSB insiders who are professional, who have made our community your own, because that's what it is. It's not mine. It's our community. I had never been on our tennis Discord. We have tennis sharps. Amazing. You guys are going to turn me into a tennis gambler. You know what I'm saying? I usually just bet on boxing, MMA, and college football, but I'm betting on the World Cup. I'm kind of 1-1. I've won some, I've lost some. I'm doing World Cup betting more about entertainment. I do have a sneaky plus 1,000 parlay cooking. I need a draw in the Croatia game. So I will see how the chat's doing right now. I'll get the comment off of the screen. And I'll catch up to the chat. So we got my boy Al Point TV. What's up, buddy? How's everyone? How you doing? Guys, if any JSB insiders wants to come on the live and ask about the fights, we got the top rank card, we got the Japanese card, we have the card in France. So you guys have a long parlay. We're going to make money. There's money on the table. There's money on the table in France. There's money on the table in Cleveland. I feel, and you guys know me, for me to say I'm confident in a prop, which I never do, I'm confident in the Japanese knockout prop. I taped both guys. The fight was on my radar at the beginning of the week. I've been bringing up the fight all week. It's just I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to get a stoppage play, and we are. So plus 110, nice little way to start the weekend. Nothing heavy. Half unit, whatever your wallet is. Whatever your betting wallet is, cut it in half. Go for it. What's up, Big J? Julius, come on and chat about it, brah. Brah. Come and chat about it. Yo, had a dream you was stabbing an ass with a needle, bro. What's up with that? What in the world? Kingdom. Don't be what's the word? Projecting your erotica fantasies upon thee. My body is my temple. And don't wish these things upon me. That's crazy. You gotta stop watching yo freaky movies you be watching. Who you got in the Mason Bell fight and why? What's up? How much bet? So by now you should know who I'm taking. You know what I'm saying? Guys, tell everybody here. I'm not sure who how much bet is. I don't recognize him. Everybody in the chat, tell him who I'm taking for the sake of redundancy. But I'm gonna pull up the odds for you, brother. I'm gonna show you why. It's a good question. By Friday you should know who I'm taking. I do live streams every day, big dog. Yeah, you guys are wild. And taking Mason. Come on, man. Abdullah. I think Abdullah's too much. I think he's young. I think he's hungry. I think he's powerful. I think he's strong. I think he's resilient. I think he's determined. I think he's that dude. Cleveland, Ohio, he's defending his belt for the first time at 135 in his hometown at 22 years old, boxing's youngest world champion. This kid is special. Whenever a fighter from wherever they are in the world is doing great things, people are going to come out of the woodwork and find flaws. I always say I don't believe in such thing as a perfect fighter. I don't think there is a such thing as that's what makes our sport great. There's no such thing in perfection. The phrase styles make fights came about for a reason. It's all about the matchmaking. I think matchmakers don't get enough credit when they're good. We talk a lot of shit when matchmaking's terrible, but when matchmaking's good, the matchmakers don't get enough credit. I think Abdullah Mason, if you watch his tape, he's young. We've seen him dropped before. He's grown up in front of us. I remember watching Abdullah as an amateur when he's from about 45 minutes away from my mom's house. So, that's where I grew up. I've been out of Ohio since 2002, but the roots are always there. You know what I'm saying? I thought Croatia just scored. Dude, Portugal is slipping. Portugal is slipping up. Croatia almost just scored. So I think Mason will eventually figure out Albert Bell's tricky, awkward style, tall, long, rangy. We know about the physical dimensions. Not really a big puncher, not really the fastest guy, not really the most explosive guy. He has a nice, shiny, undefeated record. He is 33 years old. This is his first 12-rounder. This is his first world title opportunity. This is his third fight at 135. I feel this is Abdullah Mason's moment. I think he's one of these guys. One of the Young Bucks say he's one of these ones. I think it won't be long until Abdullah Mason is in the top 10 pound for pound list. I think Mason's special. I think this guy's going to do great things. He's already doing great things at 35. I think he's going to do great things at 40. I think we're going to see him at 47. He has a good frame to it. He's connected to his camp. He comes from a very disciplined background. I always like fighters who have a connection, a disciplined connection, whether it's through their faith or their family. We know about the Fighting Mason family. So there's a lot, I'm trying to be partial because I'm a fan of Albert Bell. I was doing content on Albert Bell 2-3 years ago. I've known Albert Bell's another Ohio guy from Toledo. We're friends on Instagram. We talk all the time. So I'm a little bit bummed out that Albert Bell's opportunity at a world title fight has to come this way. Nobody was putting their hand up to fight a 6'1", 130, 100. He cut his teeth at 130. I'm not gonna. You can write a story and say Albert was avoided, which I guess there is truth to that, but it's not like in this modern era we think fighters are avoided because they're scary. They're scary. He's a scary puncher. Better Beef was avoided. He's scary, which there's credence to that. You know what I'm saying? Triple G avoided. Guys are avoided. Guys are also avoided because certain styles are really hard to look good against. Albert Bell has one of these styles that's really hard to look good against. Uses the whole ring, uses his long tools, uses his jab, will pick his spots, won't really put himself in too much danger. He's never fought anyone like Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason's special. He's going to, since 2019, this is his first southpaw as well. So Bell is the one, in my opinion, who has the card stacked against him. But all full transparency, I was taking Albert Bell to beat Andy Cruz at plus 450. I was. It just kind of sucks that two Ohio guys are going to duke it out for the world title, especially a guy like Bell who's been waiting so long to get an opportunity. I told you guys all week that that Albert Bell was like mentoring Abdullah, and then so I messaged Albert on Instagram. We're friends on Instagram. I told him I shared a picture. If you guys are following along, so this is the picture. I shared this in our. That's Albert and that's Abdullah when he was younger. Like boxing internationally is a small fraternity. Like one of my online clients, he's an Australian amateur. He's 21 years old. He's going to do great things in Australian boxing. He's currently traveling Europe, sparring at gyms in the UK, sparring at gyms in, I think he's going to do France. He's going to do Spain. He's only 21. He's an amateur. But all he has to do is say, hey, I fight for Australia's national team, and gyms will take, and then he'll have these moments he'll be able to remember his entire career with these connections that he's making. This is boxing. Abdullah Mason grew up watching Albert Bell. It's just unfortunate that, I don't, it's an Ohio Civil War. You know what I'm saying? So I think Bell's style, I think with what Abdullah does really well with how determined his style is, how he's an aggressive slugging southpaw. He has good feet. He has good reflexes. He's super sharp. You know, you're going to get the high. At 22 years old, every time we see Mason, we're going to see an elevated version of Mason. And at 33 years old, Albert Bell, the ceiling is already there. Bell will not have the power to get Mason's respect to depict things. Now, will Bell have the legs to move around for 12 rounds? And will his legs be enough and his feints be enough and his jab be sharp enough to keep Mason off of him? I don't think so. Super chat, Jake B in the house. Bro, whether you like this video, whether you subscribe to the channel, whether you're in our Discord, whether you paid a couple bucks a month to be part of our community, or whether you're like Jake, who really makes my day, giving me tipping me $50, bro. It means so much, bro. Thank you. We appreciate 85% you gave me in Discord came through. Thank you. 85% is good, man. Thank you, brother. Yeah, nobody's 100%, guys. Nobody's 100%. I do with me. You know, I give you guys bets. Last week I said Jahai Tucker will fight for your money. Last week I said Kane Sandoval will fight for your money. Oh my God, Croatia just scored. I'll fight for your money. Like at the end of the day, I'm not going to get 100% right, but I'm putting the effort. I'm putting in the film study. I got connections. I talk to the fighters. I'm not just taking. I'm not a fanboy. Like when I go to fights, I'm not taking. That's why you don't see me taking photos with fighters. These are like, how do I say this? I could message fighters. I could message them and text them and ask them questions about, hey, um, you know, I don't usually do it a lot when they're in fight camp, but if it's an upcoming fighter, they fought a guy or, one of their opponents, I have those connections and I do all that sort of stuff behind the scenes and all that sort of stuff. Those variables go into my picks. Nobody's 100% right. I'll fight for your money. I appreciate the $50 super chat. I can't believe Croatia just scored. I want to see Mason at the weigh-in. He cuts tough, Julius. We talked about this. Julius, you want to come on right now? How much bet? I've been watching for a while. I've seen a pattern. I think this fight with Bell versus Mason wins. You made the same mistake with Tank versus Roach. Ryan Mason. I mean, how much bet? I appreciate you. Love the honesty. Without honesty and authenticity, we don't have anything, guys. So shout out to how much bet. The Roach Tank fight, my brother. I got to be honest, not many people were picking Roach. That's all. And I'm not a Tank fan. So it's not like I was a Tank fan. And it was a draw. So it wasn't like I felt Roach won. I thought Lamont Roach boxed beautifully. I don't like, I don't like if you're going to use examples, specificity, I could counter that and give you a list of 100 fights I was right on. So you think that are you from the UK? Because I'm hearing guys calling Abdullah Mason a hype train. Sam Noakes is really good, guys. Sam Noakes beats a lot of guys at the world level at 135. People knew that going into it. Look at Sam Noakes' pedigree. Look at his camp. Look at his coaching. Look where his journey has taken him. Sam Noakes is a dog. He'll be a world champion. So I don't know if you're like a Sam Noakes guy or you're a UK guy or you're. And I'm not a guy who jumps on hype. So your logic actually is a bit flawed because Tank Davis isn't a hype train. He's world champion. He's like a superstar, and I'm not a Tank fan. And nobody that I know picked Roach to beat him. So I don't know what you're trying to say, but you're supporting the chat, and I appreciate you. Agreed, it's hard to get to 100. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? 100% picks right? Like over nobody, like unless we have the sports encyclopedia from Back to the Future 2, Croatia's going to score again. Oh my God, 2-0 Croatia. This is crazy. Portugal is having they're calling offsides. I was going to say Portugal is having an epic collapse because if you'd have watched the first half, Portugal controlled, I think, 70% of the ball. All right, I'll drop the link. All right, Julius. I'll bring Julius and Ollie Point. Ollie Point, are you a JSB insider on Patreon? Yes. All right, the link's getting dropped. Yeah, Pay. I thought you were. We talk. Yeah, we shoot the shit. All right, guys. I'm gonna bring two JSB insiders on real quick. Julius, you guys will know Julius from the chat. Julius comes on the lives all the time. He's a fellow JSB sharp. Bando boys. I got a knockout double. You guys know I got Mason by knockout, right? I gave you that ticket. I put that bet in a while ago. I think we're going to see knockouts, guys. I want to hear the chat's take though. I want to hear the boys. You know, we're not an echo chamber, so don't. For all the guys in the chat, there's 45 of you. If you've never been on one of my live streams, we don't have favorite fighters here. We're a fan of the sport of boxing, and we make our money by betting on winners. We watch film, we watch fights, we do film study, research, and we have chats. So you're not about to hear guys agreeing, okay? And if we disagree, it's all good because I guarantee Ollie and Julius are going to be bringing some facts. So I'm excited about it. I'll leave the link in there. Click that link, come through. While we're waiting, I'm going to pull up the current odds. So Delonte Johnson, Chris Guerrero. Chris Guerrero is a Mexican fighter who lives in Canada. You know, Eye of the Tiger guy. We've seen him. We've seen him before. He fights very brave. Chris Guerrero is a kid who he's going to be undersized against Tiger at 147. Tiger looks great at 147. You guys know how I feel about Tiger. Chris Guerrero is a guy who is going into this fight. He has a fight style that's brave, that's determined. That you know he fights like a puncher. With a guy like Tiger, who's sharp, who's long, who's tall, who's accurate, who could punch, I think the knockout is live. Now, it's a value play because look, all the money's coming in on Tiger on points. 79% return. If you got a big wallet, I don't like going heavy on props because who knows what could happen. Usually my heaviest bets are when we find dogs. I think I do like Tiger to get the stoppage based off of Guerrero's aggression. And with Tiger Johnson, guys, we're looking at a fighter who is trending. Only bear up. Well, bro, not if you're in our Discord. Let me show you some. These guys are betting on all. There's like 15 MMA cards that they were breaking down. All right, what's up, Ollie? Give me 1 second, Ollie. I'm gonna bring you on. I just want to show Bro Fight MMA real quick. If you guys only bet on boxing, just give me 10 seconds. I poked my head into the MMA chats earlier this morning, and I was just, you know, pick an adjective. I was like, holy shit. I didn't even know there were some of these regional sort of MMA promotions. You know, I bet UFC, but look at this shit. These boys are betting. They're doing film study, breaking down, betting, and winning on an African MMA promotion called, I think it's Aries. I watch these guys all week. Look at the boys. The chat is up 400. So you got to really join. If you're just paying attention to mainstream betting, yeah, there was no UFC, but these cats in our MMA chatters all sharps. There's a few of them. Shout out to Blue Bets. Shout out to Boxing Assassin. Shout out to Sloppy Guac Guac. Probably the best name. All right, I'm gonna bring Ollie on now. Add to stage. Authenticated.
Johnny.
What's up, big dog? How you doing? So is this Al?
Yeah, this is
What's
the
up?
vulture.
What's going on, man?
What's good? I think what people is not understanding about the this Ohio card is one is based in Cleveland. So
Yep.
like like if there's any judges that's going to be leaning any way, it's going to be towards the A side. It's a top ranked card. Top ranked know what they're doing. Like for anybody who's new to this, they might not understand, but top rank usually they get opponents who are decent, but just not good as good as it's just good enough for them to get tested. I think Mason in this fight, this is a showcase fight for Mason. And I mean, there's a possibility that he might stop him. The only thing I don't like is that he knows Albert Bell.
That's
And I
right.
have a thing. I have a thing with friends. You know what I mean? Whenever friends is
Yep.
fighting, you never know. You know what I mean? Like you don't know what agreements they having in the back. You don't know, like, yo,
That's
I'm gonna
right.
wink twice if I get hurt. So like you have to be careful. But the money line and props, you know, I like Mason. You know, it's funny. He has 7 stoppages in round two. You know,
Okay.
because Mason
You know, I
Mason
love
used.
stats. I didn't know that's dude. I love stats like that. So go on. I didn't know
Yeah,
about all the stoppages in round two.
yeah, because Mason usually do a filler round in round one. He's filling
Okay.
out the speed. He's throwing punches, but he's not really committing. And then the moment he feels that he has your timing
Uh
and he
huh.
knows what you're gonna do, then he's blitzing in round two. So round two is usually a round where he turn up the heat and he's dropping people or he's stopping people. This is a 12 round fight, and for people who don't know, Mason fought Sam Noakes. He hurt Sam Noakes to the body a few times, but he
Yep.
couldn't make that read. You know what I mean? Like I feel like he has like this fog in his head. Maybe he's still young, but he couldn't make that read that he hurt Sam Noakes to the body. And the funny thing is he stopped throwing body shots as soon as he hurt Sam Noakes to the body. But with
Noakes
this
was
fight,
Noakes was tough that night, man. Noakes really impressed me, man. I got to admit, you know, Abdullah was great. I think there's something to be said about how good Sam Noakes is too.
yeah, I mean, Sam Noakes is a marauder, and if
Yeah.
you're not ready to go 12 rounds, he's going to
Yep.
stop you. He's
Very
going to
stressful
stop you,
style. Very stressful.
especially when you're young. When you're
Yep.
young and you're fighting somebody who's like hitting hard and they're not stopping, well, almost like they're on EPO or something. And I'm not making no accusations. This is a
No,
compliment.
no, no. I see. It does. Those are lessons that on paper we're not going to track. We're not going. You're not going to find on box track. Abdullah Mason learned to like he learned from that Fred from that like psychologically how to react when I'm hitting a guy with shots that normally drop other guys and he's still coming forward. All right. So you know I was telling people earlier at 22 years old the fans should expect every time we see Abdullah for him to be leveling up.
every time, every time. And this is a 12 round fight. So from props perspective, I think we're gonna get at least one knockdown. That's what I think. I mean, unless Mason is not on the front foot at all, and he's just winning off points, and we've seen that. Like it was like not this fight, but like two fights ago, Mason was trying to get rounds with a fighter, and he would hurt him, and he would just stop throwing punches completely, and let the guy recover. And I'm sitting there screaming at the TV like, "You got him, get him out of there!" But I mean, like, so I said that to say this: Mason is not always looking for the stoppage, but in this fight, this is a statement fight. This is in his hometown. This is in Cleveland. I expect at least one knockdown. Um, I expect the fight to start in round two because Albert is he's a longer fighter and he's not going to blitz in. He's a counterpuncher. He's looking to counterpunch. So like I expect the fight to start round two. If you got props, I would say same game parlay. Abdullah Mason fight starts round two, at least one knockdown. You know that's what I feel like between the fight because Mason has been knocked down before, and I know
Yeah,
Albert's going to be looking to land that backhand, and I know Albert's been knocked down one time.
yeah.
So
I can only find in 2017 when he fought a guy named Tyrone Jones. He was knocked down in the first round in a 6 rounder. Albert Bell. Could you recall him being dropped? Anything recent?
no, but the thing is how he positions his high guard. If you
Yep.
watch Albert Bell's fight, I mean, even from his first fights all the way up, like he's gotten better. I'm not saying he didn't but it's how he positioned his high guard. And Mason likes to blitz. If
Yep.
Mason blitz in and you
He
and you're
punches over it.
yeah, exactly, he's
Yeah.
faster, and your footwork ain't there. Like he really relies on his footwork and his counter. And I feel like there's an athleticism edge towards Mason, and there's a speed edge towards Mason, at least in the first 6 rounds. We haven't seen anybody other than Sam Noakes really survive that blitz that Mason does when he's on the front foot. And I'm not going to say that Albert Bell is going to be able to survive, is going to be able to not get knocked down because of that high guard. Now, if he's behind the high guard 100% and then he's tying up, then that's a different story. But I don't think that that's going to be the case. I think that he's going to get blitzed and I feel like he's going to get dropped. I don't think he's going to get knocked out, but we shall see. You know.
Julius, man, welcome to the chat. Al, that's a great breakdown, brother. Julius,
What's
what are
up,
you
man?
seeing?
What's up?
What are you
What's
seeing
good,
with this
Julius?
fight?
Um, X Factor. Like I had told you earlier, we talked. I want to see Mason at the weigh-in.
Mm.
Because I feel like this is if this ain't his last fight at 35, this is he ain't got too many left. I feel like Mason is and Carrington. I'm gonna do those two. I want to see them tomorrow. I feel like they because of that drastic weight cut, they not gonna be explosive. And I feel like Bale's not gonna fight like Zayas.
No, he won't.
Bale, he's gonna try to take it into later in the fight. He wants to see because Mason did with Noakes did taper off in the end.
Yeah.
And he started getting hit more. Cause again, he relies heavily on reflexes.
It's like a
So
sports car, though. You can only redline a sports car so long before it starts to fade. That style, Mason style. Do you think this is a big question, right? I shared the photo in our Discord. It's publicly on YouTube and on my Instagram. We knew, those in the know knew that, Della used to go watch Albert fight. Like the Ohio boxers, it's a very tight fraternity. Do you think though that Albert is going to go and try to win this fight?
I
Or
don't
do you
think so.
Yeah, what do you like? Because as the better, as the gambler, we're a betting community. Full transparency, I do have money on Abdullah by knockout, but I also like the points because it's like I feel if AB goes in and tries to win this fight, he's going to get stopped.
When you say
I like
win, I
over
mean
10
I
and a
don't think.
half.
I mean, win the. I
Woo!
don't think he can win the fight from the outside, jabbing, picking, and popping, and winning rounds. I think the only way he wins the fight is by punching with Abdullah in his head, hurting Abdullah. And I
I
think
don't
if he
think he's going to
does
be on the
that,
front foot.
he's going to get hurt.
He's not a front foot fighter though. Like unless he's hurting the fighters. Like even that fight where
Yeah,
he
he's not
got
going to fight that
dropped.
way.
So yeah, so like like with the Noakes fight, I feel like the main reason that you know Mason got tired, if anything, is because of the pace of the fight. I don't think Albert is like Albert and Noakes are two totally different fighters completely.
Two different styles.
I feel like Noakes probably stops Albert, to be honest, at this point of his career. 33 years old. I mean, like, because
Julius,
Albert
get
has
in
never.
there.
Go
Nah,
ahead. I mean,
because Albert Bell is a crafty fighter. This is
He's
the first.
tricky.
This is the first fighter like this that Mason has fought. I believe Mason gonna win. The only way Bell is gonna win is by stoppage. Being real, he's not gonna win a decision in
Top rank,
Cleveland.
A side, Cleveland.
Top ranked first card on TNT. No, he's gonna. Bell needs a stoppage to win, but Bell is very
or
crafty.
10-8, or 10-8. He needs to drop him. I think he
Uh,
needs a 10-8 so he
And
can get so his output can be recognized by the judges. Because sometimes when you're in that them swing rounds, the judges is leaning. All right, we're gonna lean on Cleveland. We're gonna lean on Cleveland. But if he drops them, his punches will start looking more effective. It's crazy how that works sometimes because like a fight could look 50-50 and they're gonna lean on the champ. Because a lot of these judges, they're not like. It's funny because a lot of these boxing judges, they're not bleeding, sweating boxing every day. You know what I mean?
no.
They're going with the home team. That it's
they're
a
like
reason
seven.
why
A
they're
lot of
there.
these, yeah, a lot of judges like 70 years old, man. A lot of these judges like 70, 80 years old. Like for real, like do they are they even really there the whole fight? But I'm gonna ask you this, Almighty. That's your name, right? Almighty.
No, just Ali.
Ali. Okay, Ali. See, if you go on BoxRec and you look at Mason's record, what fighter on there has shown the skill of Bell? Because he's been fighting nothing but zombies, dudes who just walk straight towards him, no head movement, no elusivity, and now you're gonna have Bell. Bell's gonna deploy a strategy. And to be honest with you, just let's keep it real. If Bell goes the decision, that's a win for him. Like no,
No,
You
I'm
think so?
100% there with you.
You think that's a win for him? You think that at 33 years old, this kid has been he's been vocal. Those I've known about Albert for over a decade. You know, undefeated guy. I think he's going to win. You think he's going to be happy with losing on points?
I honestly
The
think this right here. No, go ahead, Julius. What
Bell
you?
Bell is another sad story in boxing. A dude who's given all in the gym, been in gym wars, been a sparring partner. He's 33 years old. If he knows anything about the business, there is nothing for Bell to win. Bell is not marked. He got dropped by Top Rank. Nobody wants him to win. Everybody bringing him in to get knocked out. So if he
But
come in there,
Julius,
is competitive, wins rounds. I'm not saying he'll run the whole fight, but wins rounds, knows when to clinch, knows when to stay on the outside, move a lot. That's a win for him. He will get another call. That's what I mean. He will get another call.
I get what you're saying, but let me ask you a question. Like, so he got dropped by Top Rank, right? We're all on the same page with that. There's a bunch of stuff that when you're like a prime sparring partner, if you're like, let's say he fought at 130 for a lot of his career. When you're a
Yep, this is
prime
his
sparring
third fight
partner,
at 35.
I listened to Mason give on an interview. He was saying that this is his friend, and he's gonna be friends after the fight. There's a bunch of stuff that we don't know, but you would know about your sparring partner. Like, hey man, my ribs is hurt. I keep getting hurt to the ribs. It's a reoccurring injury. Hey, my right hand, be easy on this side because my right hand is messed up. Or my knee is, I can't run because my knee. There's intangibles that you never know
Well,
unless you're like
tails
real good.
fight exactly like you pick up on tails from sparring partners. You pick up on patterns. You pick up on what they're susceptible to being hit with. Um, I don't know, man.
And
Like I
it takes away the like the specialness from Mason, because if he spent so many rounds in there with him, unlike most of the other Mason's opponents, they had some kind of fear, some kind of like, ooh, they say this guy's super fast and speed. Bale knows his tendencies, so he's going to feel more comfortable in the ring. He's not going to be as tense. It's like, man, I've
I
been in the
just
ring with
I,
this dude.
I have to disagree with you because, like, again, it's like last week. You know what I mean? I was telling everybody that Boots hit hard as shit, right?
mhm.
I feel like this is a rinse and repeat of last week where you have the craftier fighter, but the craftier fighter last week was Xander. Xander's way of winning was don't stand in front of Boots. And we've seen the success that Xander had in the later rounds. The rounds before he got dropped around, he was the more athletic. I mean, he was the more.
He had a good
Uh,
round three. Xander's best chance was round three against Boots.
no, I mean the problem with that Xander fight is he stood in front of Boots too long.
He
Like
didn't use the
Boots,
ring. That was a mistake.
exactly.
He didn't use
But
all the
you
real
seen
estate. Yep.
you seen Boots get tired, walking him down. Like, rewatch that fight. You're gonna see glimpses in there where you're like, wait a minute, Boots is
I know.
looking tired as
I know.
shit. Like, I'm
His head
talking
getting
about.
snapped back. His head getting snapped back. We've never seen him like that. That's a whole nother chat to have. Like moving forward.
No, so let's bring it back to this fight. I feel
Yep.
like when you talk about who's the more talented fighters is, I feel like Abdullah Mason is a more talented fighter. Who
Same.
has more pop in his shots? Abdullah Mason got more pop in
Same.
his shots. Who's the quicker fighter? Abdullah Mason is the quicker fighter. So
Same.
like Albert needs to out jab, keep the fight long, and stay away from Abdullah Mason. He needs to utilize his footwork. I'm gonna hit you with a backhand, but I'm gonna steal that sequence,
And
and
this
I'm
is what.
gonna try to
And
win. Go ahead.
I agree with you. And this is why the points. I could see it going the distance if Albert. Let's say Albert early gets caught with one of those hooks, and Abdullah domesticates him. Albert will just make a decision. I'll just stay on the outside. Do you remember the Thomas Matisse fight? Thomas Matisse versus Raymond Ford, and the Gunnerman, another Northeast Ohio fighter, high knockout to win ratio, aggressive fighter, kind of a regional guy.
Hmm.
Fights Raymond Ford a couple years ago, and just in the first round there was a couple exchanges, and then the entire fight Matisse just made the decision to just fight from the outside and lose on points.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
I could.
like, yeah, Teddy Atlas, he said the silent agreement. And I'm gonna tell you this, yeah, when I had seen the face off today, what concern I had for the knockout, because I was leaning knockout, but I'm kind of
I'm
weighing
worried
that more,
about the
looking
knockout
to it.
too, but my boots are dug. Yeah.
Uh Normally Mason, when he is face to face with his opponent during the week, he never shakes their hand. He never engages no friendliness at all. It's
Is
straight
that
mean
real?
bugging. Man, fuck you is nothing nice. But when I seen
Hey,
him with Bill,
he
he
clicking
he
his jaw.
he shook his hand, and I said, you switching up your game because you don't shake nobody hand. You don't do none of that, and now you shaking his hand.
That was
Is
his big
this?
Again,
homie though. Like look,
it's
like
not a
Albert.
game. They're
That was
friends.
his big homie.
Exactly. I mean, we see the photo. I mean, that photo says a lot because
Yeah, that's why I
I
have it
thought
on the screen.
he said 4 to 5. They sparred over 5 times. That's what
That's a lot.
Mason said. Over
That's a
five
lot.
times they sparred, and the last time they sparred was last year. You see this picture. Abdullah Mason looked like he's about 12 years old in this picture. So
Yep.
this had to be at least 9 years ago. That's a long time. That's the reason with this fight, I'm not really that big on props, on too many props. I feel like if you live bet, you could pick your spots and because you can see this. If you live bet, the fight that I think is the fight to bet on is Tiger Johnson. You know what I
Okay, I'm
mean?
glad you. I'm glad you brought that up, Ali, because
Go
both of you
ahead.
boy and Jewel and you guys are spitting out mad facts. You guys, appreciate you coming on the showing everybody. You're in. You guys are in the group, but our channel is a community, and it's good that you guys are finally spreading your knowledge. Ali, you need to come on more. But you guys were talking about, Abdullah Mason. Julie said about how much longer are we going to see him at 135? At 22 years old, as he boiled himself down too much to make that weight, and having certain performances look a certain way. How about Tiger Johnson on the opposite end? Tiger at 140, this is a guy that, he wasn't getting those results that from the amateurs, everybody in the Ohio scene were expecting as a pro. Moves up to 47, 2 out of 3 fights end in stoppage, putting on muscle, looking like a real legit potential world champion. I'm excited about this matchup.
Yeah, me too. But I think honestly, like I've watched all of Chris Guerrero fights, all of them. You know, what I mean, I've been watching. I watched the last 7 of his fights because
Mm-hmm.
on Eye of the Tiger. I've
Yep.
watched
Yep.
pretty much all of Tiger Johnson's fights. Now, for anybody who's new to betting, Top Rank usually they give their fighters build a bear fights. Let's just say like that. These fights are
It's a good
made to
way of putting
build
it.
you and test you. The same with Eye of the Tiger. Eye of the
Yep.
Tiger, they're gonna put you in a fight that's you're gonna be the A side 100%. So this is the first fight. Like, and this is the funny thing about this fight because if this fight was staged under the Eye of the Tiger, I feel like it probably Tiger would be a 2-to-1 favorite, mainly because he knocked out Nicholas Flaws. But because they put this fight in Ohio, in Cleveland, against the taller fighter, Chris Guerrero is 5'8", Tiger is 5'11". Tiger is going to be the more athletic fighter. Tiger is going to have the better footwork. Most that Tiger does is when he throws his punches, when he's done throwing his punches, he ties up on the inside. So this is going to be very frustrating fight for Chris Guerrero. I think this is the props I'm throwing. Tiger Johnson 3-way money line. Tiger Johnson most punches landed. And Tiger Johnson fight starts round 4. I don't think Tiger Johnson gets Chris Guerrero out there because Chris Guerrero has a higher fight IQ than the Nicholas Flaws. Nicholas Flaws has been dropped before, but his
Yep.
whole fighting style is I'm a Terminator. I'm gonna
Yep.
walk you down and I'm gonna outthrow you, and that actually works because he beat the dude from New York last week. You know, he beat Buddy by just
Jahai
out
Tucker.
voluming him. Jahai Tucker.
He beat Jahai Tucker. Yeah,
He
dude.
beat Jahai Tucker.
I grabbed. Tiger was a plus 1,000 to stop Nick, and everything you're saying is why I took that because Flaz's aggressive front foot, no respect style versus Tiger's accuracy, pinpoint precision from range, and Tiger will mix it up with you in the pocket. Tiger's good at multiple levels as well. Let me ask you though. You said watching Eye of the Tiger, the boys will know who
Okay.
Chris Guerrero is. You don't
Hmm.
think though there's in that style in the tape that you've seen him in the fights that he's going to make a decision to try to go out on a shield or no?
I mean, I feel like Chris Guerrero is, like this is a bad matchup for him all the way through. You know what I mean? Like,
This is a
and
10
I don't
rounder.
see
I think it's a 10
this
rounder
is
too.
this is a 10 rounder. But watching Tiger's a different fighter. Like in rounds 1 through 5 and rounds 6 through 10, Tiger is a different fighter. If Tiger can't get you out of there, and Tiger is not a one punch knockout person. He needs you like all Tiger's knockouts. He got like 7 or 8 knockouts. All of his knockouts are against front foot pressure fighters, people who's
He
walking him
takes what he
down.
could get. He's very
Exactly,
opportunistic. He's a
exactly.
joy to watch. Like
Yeah,
for boxing purists, when you see his decision making and what he gives, he doesn't waste anything. He doesn't give anything away. But if you give too much, he's taken.
But he's
but
quick
yeah, I
twitch.
like Johnson by decision. You know, I mean, I don't feel
Look at
like
Let's pull
I
the
feel
odds up.
like Guerrero is young, fresh, and man, my betting thing is this, man. I don't like to take a knockout on a young Mexican fighter. It just I've been, and
It's
just on the Carrington fight as
It's
well.
patterns.
Yeah,
25 years old, undefeated. He's not only just young, he's undefeated. This is a very
undefeated.
proud fighter.
He,
Very proud
and
And
put
he
fighter.
like this,
utilizes jab. He's a jab first. Chris Guerrero, he will utilize his
tough.
jab, but his jab is not going to be effective in this fight because he's going to be the shorter fighter, the slower fighter, the less athletic fighter. The thing about Tiger Johnson is he's quick twitch, but he doesn't have that one punch knockout power. What I
I
mean
love
by that
Tiger's
is
backhand over. I love Tiger's the punch, his timing on his backhand over the jab. He stays there, and if you're lazy with bringing yours back, he's catching you. So
but there's a chance this fight gets stopped. That's the reason that I can't say the Tiger by decision because Tiger could figure out that hey man, I'm the way faster fighter, and I've seen Chris go in corners where his team in his corner is yelling at him like, dude, we need you to step it up. Like it was like a few fights ago, like 2 fights ago, not even a few, 2 fights ago. It was round 10. They was like, dude, are you gonna get this dude out of here or not? And Chris gets tired, and he's not fast to begin with. So like I can't say that it'll be Tiger by decision. That's why I said I think it'll be Tiger. It'll be most punches landed, and the fight will start round 4. Because I can't see Chris just going in there and doing what Nicholas Floss did in the first 3 or 4 rounds. I see him using his boxing IQ, and I see
Julie,
Tiger outbox him.
Ollie, give me. I want to ask Julius something on that point, Ollie.
No, go ahead.
Julius, for all the betters out there, boys, we're a betting community. From a betting perspective, Julius, is that $1.79 a 79% return on $100 bet? Is that value enough to take Tiger on points, or is this a no bet for you? Or are you using it? How are you treating this fight specifically from a betting strategist perspective?
If I look at the card, right, man, Guerrero to me has the best chance to survive. He's full fledged 147. He could never make 140. I want to put the bit. That's what I mean by what I'm talking about weight. Crystal Guerrero could never make 140. So I know Tiger is taller, but his frame could made 140. So he's a smaller guy, and Guerrero is young. He's of Mexican heritage, and those combinations we've seen time and time again. A young Mexican fighter who is set to get knocked out, and he just goes to decision, similar to the Carrington fight. I see Carrington and Delonte having some troubles in some of there. I don't think this is gonna be too easy. I don't see it like this. I'm not it they are projecting to be a showcase, but I think Carrington and Delonte, they will have it won't be they just come in and beat them up every round. I think it's
Okay,
gonna
let me
be
ask you this. Let me ask you this. Tiger Johnson versus Chris Guerrero. Is this a step up from Tiger Johnson versus Nick Flaz? And Shushu Carrington versus Palacio. Is this a step up from Castro?
No.
that's what I'm saying. I'm very concerned with Carrington. Like, and I look at
I'm
him.
not. I think Shushu is the type of guy who fights up or down to his opponent. I think he's still figuring out his confidence in that unreal skill set. This is one of these guys who is just God gifted skilled with things, right? And sometimes at the highest level in boxing, if you make the wrong decision, you punch when you should have slipped, you could get knocked out. And I think over time you get more confident deciding when and when not to do things. And I saw if you watch Carrington when he was punching with Castro, he was making a decision to have faith in his durability and his power, and it paid off and he went viral. I think we're going to see an electric performance from
He,
Shushu.
he had some rough moments in that
He
Castro
did.
fight.
You got to learn though. Those were
But
moments though before in his career he wouldn't put himself through.
Renee's the thing about Renee. He's the same fighter as Shushu. He likes to fight in the 50-50. But the thing is, like, I think the difference, if you look at the Sagawa fight between
That's the one they
Shushu and
bring up.
Sagawa,
That's
and
the
then
one they bring up.
you look at the Sagawa fight between Renee and Sagawa. Renee never stopped throwing punches. When Renee felt uncomfortable, or he would tie up and he'll get in the 50-50 and he'll just be throwing with Sagawa. Whereas Shushu relied heavily on his defense, so he was getting outthrown in that fight. I think the copy box was like 800 to 600 or something like that. And Shushu, of course, he was deflecting a lot of punches, but if you're not throwing punches, right, and you're not throwing enough punches, and the volume is on Sagawa's side, I was giving Sagawa those rounds. I mean, at best, I thought it was a 10 round fight. I thought Sagawa won, and I had money on Shushu. I was like, fuck, either this is going to be a draw or Sagawa 6-4. But with the anyway, I said that to say this right here. This is stylistically a better fight for Shushu because Sagawa is going to engage in the 50-50. Sagawa is not as tall as Castro. He don't throw as much punches as Castro either. But
Palacio.
Yeah. Oh no,
Yeah.
Renee. Yeah, Renee. His name is Renee. His first name.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Renee, he doesn't throw as much punches as Castro, but he's very dangerous in the first 2 rounds. Most of his stoppages is between rounds 1 and 3. But I feel like in the 50-50, Bruce catching and shoot is a
Yep.
lot better and a lot quicker than Renee. So like
Sharp.
this might get this might be a stoppage. You know what I
Look
mean?
at the
Like,
odds
but
here, boys. Are you able to see the screen, guys?
yeah, I'm
Julius
able to see it.
and Ollie. Bruce, when this is how crazy the bookies have gotten in the last 12 months. They're now giving us Carrington by knockout at $1.60. You know what I'm saying? When we
Mm.
used to get him at like plus 600 by knockout.
And
So
we
the
got them plus 600 on
yeah,
on decision too now. And
on
like I
decision
said,
too. So what, Julie? What's your do you got money on this fight, boys? Let me
oh,
hear your
I just
play.
got, like I said, that's one of my plus money distance. I see distance, man. Renee is gonna surprise people this weekend. The
Mm.
volume, the
This card
durability.
is sneaky good, isn't it?
The
The card is.
Yeah.
durability.
We got Scooter.
Castro was coming up from 122. He been stopped. He was in his
Yeah,
30s. I
I
didn't
get
like
it.
that. I thought, to be honest
Well,
with you, I thought
22 to
Kerry,
26, 4 pounds.
Castro big. Castro came in big. He was the bigger fighter between him and Shushu. To be
if
honest, he was a
your
taller
body
fighter.
can make
But
122,
Julius, you know what Castro did? Castro gambled on the fact that Carrington wouldn't gamble on himself. Like Castro fought him in such a way that he felt that he could engage Carrington in a firefight and Carrington would hesitate, and he wouldn't, and he didn't. And that
Let
to
me.
me
he stopped Castro in the ninth round.
with a
It was
I want
beautiful
to.
exchange.
I
I'm just
wanted to
saying.
add something to what Julius is saying. I wanted to
Yep.
add something to what Julius is saying. Johnny, you box, right?
Mm,
So I box too. Like my whole life, I was boxing. Like as a teenager and stuff, over 20 some years ago. There's
nice. Where are
some
you from,
people
man?
who I'm. It's funny. I'm from New York, but was raised in Georgia. I have family in Ohio, family in Michigan, and
All right.
I've been all through everywhere. But what I was trying to say is this right here. Me, like if you box, you know there's some people who can sweat like a dog. The moment they start sweating, it start pouring out. So they can
Mm,
cut weight a lot better than other people. Like it's like you either can sweat or you can't sweat. You know, some people have a hard time losing that water weight, and then some people they can lose 6, 7 pounds in a day like this. Just you know what I mean? Because I don't know, I can't explain it. So like, yes, you can. There's some people who can sweat 4 pounds out a little bit better than other people. You know what I mean? But then again, there's some people who rehydrate bigger than other people. So like, in many ways I can agree with what you're saying that like, the frame is different, but Castro came in bigger and he looked to be the stronger fighter between him and Shushu. Shushu had to pull that trick out that bag and catch
you
him with
think
that punch
so?
right there.
So you think that knockout was him pulling it? I thought Shushu controlled the fight. I thought I
He
what
got
I
hurt
saw.
though.
What was that?
He got hurt though. Remember?
He got
Like
that. I
Shushu
mean,
was,
but he got hit in exchanges in moments where, when you watch his career prior, he never chose to punch in those moments. That to me, though, when I see that, I'm thinking like, all right, this kid's starting to believe in himself. You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
mm,
So
yeah, I know. I'm with you.
which will then make said fighter, if successful, which he was, even more confident, but also more knowledgeable when to make those decisions.
Mm.
Fight IQ matters when you're looking at a guy. You can't just be Nick Flaz going out. That's the biggest difference with, as we're leveling up at the world level, is those decision making, when to punch, when not to punch. And I think what always held Carrington back, and I said this about Richardson Hitchens going into the George Kambosos fight. I said Hitchens has all the skills in the world. To me, he seems like a kid who doesn't believe in his power yet, so he doesn't sit on anything, and he's still figuring that out. And he stopped George, and I feel that we're going to see more of that too. I think it's a confidence thing with Carrington.
Yeah, yeah, I can see
But
that.
he are we seeing any upsets, boys? Are we? Because you guys,
If I
shout
had
out
to
to
pick a
No.
upset, is Palacio. I'm really concerned. I really
Mm.
think that him not moving up to 130, he has shown what my issue with Carrington is in this particular fight. The youth, the tenacity of which Palacio is going to bring his offense. It's not going to be time for Carrington to do his movement to set up his offense. Carrington likes to move. He likes to he's a reflex fighter. And I feel like this weight cut, man, it's gonna really take a lot out of him. And that's the worst, a relentless Mexican fighter. It's the reason why Hitchens pulled out his fight. Cause I was like, cause Hitchens knew, man, after that weight cut, getting in the ring with one of them relentless Mexican fighters. Cause I don't think Palacio is that skilled, but I think his will, his relentless volume from first round to the 12th round, I'm concerned with Carrington. I want to really see. Like I'm not.
I'm on the opposite side because I feel like this fight, last fight with Castro, stylistically that wasn't a good fight for Shushu. The Sagawa fight wasn't stylistically a good fight for Shushu because he's fighting longer fighters who like to fight long. Shushu is a better inside fighter. Renee's gonna turn this into a 50-50. She's the shorter fighter. I don't think he's as fast as Shushu, and I think he's gonna turn this into a 50. He's gonna engage a 50-50, and that's a Bruce Shushu Carrington fight. And I think that's the reason that Top Rank made this fight. I honestly think the Shushu fight versus Renee is the stylistically it's the better fight for Shushu. And I get what you're saying, with the volume, with the power, and all that type of stuff. But Shushu he did good in the amateurs. You know what I mean? And he's done good in the pros. And I didn't mean to. I'm not saying that Shushu was a winner versus Castro when he knocked Castro out. I'm
he
just
got
saying
touched.
that was his toughest test with volume and everything. I don't think that this is his toughest test. I think
Yeah,
this is a
I don't
step
either.
down. That's my opinion. I think this is a step down, and I think that this is a fight where Shushu could style and potentially get a knockout in the 12-round fight. And that's what I think.
Yeah,
Look at
Renee
look
never
at
been
that
in a 12
weigh-in
rounder.
tomorrow. Let's look
Yeah,
at that
wait,
weigh-in.
what the weigh-ins are report. I mean, Shushu cuts. All Abdullah Tiger. I'm interested to see Tiger in his fourth fight at 147. I was watching his tape at 40. Even his first fight, I think he fought Castaneda at 47 versus what he looked like against Flaz and what he looks like in camp. He's just adding a lot more depth and sort of dimension to his shoulders and the thickness of his neck as well. So when I see that as a from a strength and conditioning perspective, Tiger Johnson taking a punch, he's one of my. I think he's the dark horse at 147.
He
Tiger
is.
Johnson. Like
He
people
is.
don't talk about him enough, man.
I put money on him versus the last fight because everybody was like, yeah, Nicholas Falls is gonna win. I'm like,
Yep.
wait a minute, Tiger is plus 110.
Yep.
Man,
Yeah. We
I
all.
dropped
Hey,
money everywhere
I
on
know
that.
our team. We took. I took them to stop him too. But I did a debate. I debated one of the boys on that. People were loving Nick Flaz because there's a lot to like. The style, getting tested, Puerto Rico, all that good stuff. But when you're going up against a guy, I think Tiger Johnson super skills pay the bills. And the one thing I can't say about the boys on this card with Della, Shushu, we didn't even talk about Scooter Davis. We're gonna see some skilled fighters.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are.
We're gonna see. I think if you've never seen any of these guys fight, you're in for a treat. This is a low key, sneaky good card.
Yeah, but you kind of right, Julius. That is a potential. Like if the only way I see Shushu, I don't see him losing on the cards. Let me just make that flat out. I don't see him losing the cards. But the only way that I can see Shushu having problems is if he has that same situation that he had when he fought Sagawa, where he's overthinking and he's just freezing and he's on the outside. This is not if it's an inside fight, which I believe it is. I don't see Shushu freezing. I see him getting in this flow state and potentially stopping Renee. You know what I mean? Because like that's what he does. He gets in this flow state. He start working the body, and then he mixing. He one thing that Shushu do real good than everybody on this card is he mixes his body and his head shots perfectly. So when you thinking that he's going for the body, then he swings over right there to the headshot. That's how he got Castro. Because Castro was like freezing up with them body shots late. Because Shushu was sitting on them damn body shots. And then it made Castro respect him. And then he lined up that perfect headshot. I think it's going to be the same type of situation in this fight right here. So
The
don't you know what I mean? Like even though Renee has never been stopped, I don't think he's ever been knocked down. This is a fight where you could see Sushu, actually show up and show out. Renee is not going to be the taller fighter. How is Renee going to stop Sushu from walking him down? He don't have that like, oh, I'm gonna just jab and keep you on the outside like Sagawa. I'm gonna keep it long. I'm gonna redirect you. Like Sagawa was moving Shushu. When Sagawa got to the ropes, he'll move off the ropes. He was throwing in combination. He was moving. But he kept it long, and that's what frustrated or flustered Shushu. I don't think Renee has that same game, the style. You know what I mean? And styles make fights because we've seen Renee was able to close up shop with Sagawa, but this is not a good stylistic matchup. And I
really
would just
like
recommend.
my play on this
Right.
fight is plus money. It's just going the distance, and I'm gonna do extra units on over. Uh, I took over 8.5, and now it's at 9.5. I
Wow,
would
the
take.
Hmm.
distance is plus. That's
I
crazy.
would take not over 9.5 as well because Carrington, if you go on proboxingodds.com and you type in Bruce Carrington, is this won't be his first time that he was heavily favored to knock somebody out and he underperformed. That
I
I
we
don't
True.
took
think,
we took him on points at plus 600 that night.
and it
I
was
played. I
up.
I've won money on points with him before.
And that
Yeah.
African dude, I don't think that African fighter is as good as Rene Palacio.
Nagawa. Okay.
And I think he was able to
He's
not get
tricky.
knocked down.
Sagawa's tricky.
Sagawa didn't get knocked down. So I'm saying a Sagawa. He was supposed to knock out Sagawa. So it's been
Mm.
numerous times Carrington has been given a quote unquote layup to get a stoppage, and he was unable to do so. So if he doesn't get the stoppage, that's nothing new because you've been minus six
All right,
hundred to
boys.
get.
Here's the better question. So out of Bruce, Abdullah, and Tiger, you have to pick one to win by knockout. Who are you picking?
I'm picking Abdullah Mason.
Yeah,
If I had
Mason.
to pick, if I had to pick, and I hope I don't have to pick, I would have to. I would say Mason by knockout. But like I like props, like to shrink down because the line is not too crazy right now. Mason is like 4-1, so like I like the props. Like fight start right here. Mason most power punches landed. Just in case, because like Mason, I think Mason's gonna hurt Albert, and I think that when he hurts Albert, you see Albert be more hesitant, and you're gonna see Mason fight in blitz. That's what he does. Every round, he did that. The same thing with Sam Noakes. He's going to fight in blitz. But Sam Noakes didn't respect him. Albert will respect him. And because of that, even though Sam Noakes didn't respect him, he still outlanded Sam Noakes in power punches. It was 158 to 138. Okay? Out of 500 punches, he landed 158 were power punches. And I think it was a lot more. I just think that this fight, he's going to outland them. So, like, the game plan for Mason is Mason on a three-way line, fight to start round two, most power punches landed. That should get you to minus 200. So,
You
yeah.
says to start round two. Okay, yeah. But in the flip side of that dude, I'm thinking about Bell. It could be the case. I said, can Bell take the level of damage that Noakes took?
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm thinking with on that too. I said, man, because I'm thinking my
Noakes
mind's
was
like,
durable,
no, Noakes was young,
in
and
shape.
also I
I don't
don't
like how
like it.
tall Albert fights. Albert, for me, from a coaching perspective, there's so many moments where he's just too long and out of position, especially on the defensive side. So, I I
And
and I
Bell, yeah, Bell's in his mid 30s. Out of all the
I'd be attacking
underdogs,
that body. I think Abdullah's going to invest in the body early, time that jab, get under those elbows, break him down. I think he's going to catch Bell against the ropes, and I don't think Bell has the legs to get away from him.
yeah,
So you
like
think you
yeah.
think between rounds 1 and 6? Is that what you're thinking?
See,
I would have to go 7 through 12 if I
I would go 7 through 12 too. I would go through seven
So
through 12.
and I would go
all three of
like
us are saying it's going. All three of us are saying the fight starts in round 2.
9 or 10.
So
Oh yeah, the fight
yeah,
starts in round 2.
yeah. The reason I say that is because Mason has stopped 7 people in round 2. Like I said, the first
Oh,
round
that's a
was
great
his.
stat. That's a great dude. If that happens again, we're putting that one up on the dry erase board because did you know that, Julius?
Yeah, but I just Bell it
Bell's a
could, and you're
veteran.
right. It could be the case that the Bell that this fight he old overnight. He's in his mid 30s. He's in the lower weight class. This could be the fight.
Even the higher
He
weight class, like higher weight class.
no, yeah. What I'm saying is that yeah,
Oh my God.
he's moved up in weight. I don't like it when a fighter is in their mid 30s. They move up in weight. That's like you now you older taking bigger punishment. Um, and Mason is he's a big 135. He
I
really
think I
boils down.
think I think Johnny had a come to Jesus moment. Go ahead, Johnny. Say what you about to say because I see some on
I
your
got no.
face.
I got the World Cup playing in the background. In the 12th minute of extra time, Croatia ties it up, and I needed a draw. We up, baby.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, Croatia.
I, I'm sorry. I didn't want to. I didn't want to deter the chat, so I only said it because you
No.
brought it up.
Let's
Julius,
go,
what
Mirko
was
Krokop.
yeah. Dude, don't sleep on what low kick, body, high kick.
Left
What was it?
hospital. Left kick hospital, right kick morgue or some
Yeah,
cemetery.
yeah. my man. So Julius, what you guys were talking? You were talking about at 33 years old, Albert Bell. The durability is equivalent. We don't. I don't know what to make of Albert Bell. I've always been high on him, but I don't know if I've been high on him because I'm an Ohio guy and I'm a loyalist. It's weird to me that the average boxing fan doesn't know who he is. It's weird to me Top Rank never put money behind him. I was always told, shout out to Marcus Knoll, Ohio Runs Boxing. Marcus told me that due to stylistic matchups at 130, him being a 6 foot tall boxer, nobody wanted to fight. Like he's hard to look good against. What does that really
I,
mean, though?
I think it means that if he fights like the Tanks, if he fights the Floyd Schofields, if he fights the Williams Zapatas, even though like Zapata is a stylistic matchup, bad matchup from pretty much everybody at 135, he can win rounds. And when you can win
No,
rounds,
no, no.
but you're not,
I know. What I was saying. What does that mean? It's like, do we believe that? Like,
I
is
do.
okay,
No,
I think
okay,
no,
that
all right,
I
I
don't
think
believe that at
I
okay.
think he
all.
See, this
survives.
was I'm glad we're disagreeing. Go on, boys.
Go ahead. Would you? No, I'm gonna let him. I think that he
Julius.
survives. So go ahead, Julius.
In American boxing, it's very rare for a fighter to achieve popularity or stardom if you have a low knockout rate. And Bell was it knocking out journeyman. So I'm
There
saying
you go.
that's a thing in American boxing. It's not British boxing. In American boxing, if you trying to be headlining Las Vegas, the only fighter who didn't do it was Floyd Mayweather, but he was pretty boy knocking out
Floyd did it
everybody.
when he was younger.
You know what
Floyd
I'm
was an
saying?
aggressive knockout artist.
But Bell, yeah, Floyd was knocking out journeyman. No, that's the question.
Dude,
Was you
young
knocking out the
Floyd,
journeyman?
yeah, out
Was
of
you
the
if you
Olympics.
can't knock out the journeyman, you're gonna get dropped by your promoter. You're not gonna be pushed. And also the flip side, you telling me you've been in all these gyms, you've been around boxing for 15 years. Nobody wanna fight you? What are you like?
Mm.
Who are you? You don't possess power. What are they scared to fight? It's not like
That's
you
what I'm
triple.
saying.
You
That's
not
what
like
I'm
is you
saying.
not triple G. You not putting people in the hospital. I can understand something like that. If he was put like if a fighter said, I'm putting these fighters in the hospital, I'm beating the fuck out of them, they pissing blood after the fight. Yeah, we don't want to fight you. But if you bail, well, I'm confused. In Bale's last fight, he couldn't stop Keith Hunter, an old washed up journeyman, and he was it was a close fight. Go look at that. I'm not. I look at Bell as a guy who's been misused by the system. He just been a sparring partner, getting beat up in the gym, giving his best attributes, his best skills to the gym, being a gym warrior, and on the main, he never showed it on the mainstream against a credible guy. This is Bell's first guy who's dangerous in his
So
whole
Julius,
career.
so
Whole
Julius, what
career.
you're
His
saying is,
whole he's mid 30s, and it's his first fighter who is dangerous. How is he gonna? I'm flipping my what I was thinking. I'm like, man,
How's he going to
he
handle
that's
the
what I'm saying.
pressure?
he ten
How are you gonna
years
handle
he
the
ten
pressure?
years older. Come on, man. Well, he's never been in his position. He's 33.
Never
The other
fought a
dude,
12 rounder. Never fought a 12 rounder. First Southpaw since 2019. Like, this is his moment. 33
youngest
years old.
opponent, youngest
Youngest
opponent he ever
opponent.
had.
Third, only 3 fights at 135. They're like, I once I removed my loyalty for Albert Bell, being an Ohio guy, I was like, hold on. Somebody in the chat's like, you're overhyping Abdullah. No, I don't think I'm giving Abdullah enough. It's an interesting one. Yeah.
There's
Um,
somebody in the chat. This his name is How Much Bet. He said he was just saying something like we're not giving Bell enough credit, and it's not about not giving Bell enough credit. I would liken this same fight to the fight that we seen last week. We got this super athletic knockout artist in Abdullah Mason. Who's more talented, Bell or Mason? Mason is more talented. So in the 50-50, if Abdullah Mason decides like I'm just going to turn this into a 50-50 fight, I'm going to get him, I'm going to walk him down,
Ali,
and we,
could you explain to the non-boxers what you mean by 50-50?
50-50 is when someone is fighting in the inside. You know, they can get hit. They're catching and they're shooting. You know, like this is not like Bell is not that type of fighter. He keeps it long. He jabs. He utilizes footwork. He gets out of there.
The strike
Abdullah
zone. They're in the
Mason,
strike
yeah,
zone. They're in the
exactly.
wheelhouse.
Like go watch Sam Noakes versus Abdullah Mason. A majority of that fight was fought in the 50-50, meaning that Abdullah Mason can hit Sam Noakes and Sam Noakes can counter and hit him. That was the style of fight. And that's where Abdullah Mason shines. Is in the 50-50 because of that power, because of that athleticism, and because of that speed. And my whole thing of negating the whole it can go to distance, I'm not saying they can't go to distance, but what makes me think that it won't go to distance is Abdullah Mason could just make a decision like, yeah, I'm going to walk him down and I'm going to hurt him. And what can Albert Bell do? We've seen Abdullah Mason drop before. So, you know, like there's a possibility he could drop him. But at the same point in time, I would have to lean on the younger, stronger, bigger Mason. You know, so that's where I'm at with it.
Yo, we got a new JSB insider in the chat. John STF, you're live, brother.
Hello?
All right.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, John. It's on you.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, respect to the movement, man. I fuck what you got going on, Johnny. You know, you've been doing this shit for a minute. I've been watching for a minute. Respect.
Thank you.
But my thoughts on that Mason fight, bro. I feel like you guys are really underestimating Bell. I feel like the experience within the age and how long he been doing boxing, because he said he been doing boxing ever since he was 5 years old. And his dad was a boxer, his brother was but his uncle was a boxer. So they got a lot of experience within the game. And I feel like with the Mason brothers, like they have experience, but this they first time, you know, around. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like with Bell, like his people, like they already got that pure knowledge from seeing it from firsthand. You feel me? So I feel like with them sparring, and I'm hearing that Bell got the better of Mason in sparring, I feel like his IQ, him being grown and his man strength, I feel like he might get Mason out of there. If I'm being honest.
He don't got no man strength though.
Well,
That's the problem.
on some real, full transparency, I was taking Albert Bell to beat Andy Cruz. I was. So I know about Albert Bell's career. I know everything you're saying, John. You're spot on. Boxing his whole life. I just think it comes down to talent. I rate Abdullah Mason in a year or so being top 10.
Agreed. You know, and I don't like. I mean, and we just seen the photo that Johnny just posted up When did he get the better rounds? When he was like 5? You know what I'm saying? Like when Mason was 7 years old, like when was he getting better rounds? You know, so like I mean like that's for full transparency. They knew each other for over 10 years, and it's hard to say from tape that Bell is going to step on. He could, I mean, because let me ask you a question. What fight has Bell stepped on somebody equivalent to a Abdullah Mason?
I couldn't really see a lot of his fights like that. It was
But any of his fights, what fights did you see
like
where you're like,
it
oh,
was
Bell
one
is the
fight that I
shit?
Most of Bell fights have been on the club level, non-televised, and that you say he been in boxing since he was 5. That's to me, it's like you've been fighting all this time, and you finally arrived at 33. In boxing, these stories, I don't, they don't rarely happen. I mean, you finally win your championship at in your mid 30s. You know, hey, I can't tell you too many stories about that.
Look, he's a good guy. He has a loyal fan base in Ohio. I I try to be really really non-opinionated with my approach, right? I look at both sides of the coin. I don't. I mean, John brings it. He's picking Albert, which is great. You know, it shows that we're all in the same community, but we could disagree, which is fine. I don't see his. How does he do it then, John? From the outside with his jab, does he trick Mason into getting hurt? You said he's gonna. You could see him stopping him. Okay, yeah, his connection went out. I would have liked him to kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I know
I
what you're
don't.
saying.
Yeah, I
It'd
wish he
be
would
the
have
biggest
elaborated.
upset of the year. Tell you that.
It'd be a
That's why I
massive
said
upset.
That's why I said, Johnny, in the chat, I think you should do like at least one live, like Johnny knows boxing, watching, commentating the fight, just so you can give your takes and you can have your, because you got a big enough community where people could see how you're thinking live and see what
Are you talking during the fight?
Yes. Like
Okay.
if you do one live commentary, it doesn't matter. Like especially like the UK fights, you know what I mean? Because you're in Australia, so you pretty much you like within a few hours of UK time. But like whenever they have like a UK fight, you should just give your analysis there so people can see how you thinking live in action. Because like me, like I'm saying what I see on tape, and then it happens. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
could I could post up bet slips and all this stuff, but I don't want to I don't want to ego whatever bet because like this betting is the most humbling thing ever because you
It
can
is.
lose. You know
It
what I
is.
mean? You will be humbled. You know what I mean? Like and Johnny knows boxing is a fucking amazing name because he be hitting it, yo. Like if anybody who don't know Johnny, if you're new to this chat, join Johnny No Boxing, join his Patreon, join his community. This guy knows
Thanks,
the fuck he's
man.
talking about. He's passionate. This is the key. He's passionate. He puts his fucking work in. And I mean, like, I don't tell everybody's take. I do my own. But I look at it, the results are real. So like that's all I
Thanks,
gotta say
man.
about you. You know what I mean? Like
Thank you, man.
yeah. So
Are
we
we missing?
got so
Are we missing something on Bell? You know, like
no.
Julius, are we missing something?
You
What you think,
know,
Julius?
it's possible. Anything's possible. But my concern with him, I don't like fighters who you've been in you've been in all these gym wars, you've been a sparring partner. Whenever I hear fighters say I've been a long-term sparring partner, I don't like that because man, sparring partners get treated like motherfucking man, they get beat the fuck up in sparring, you know what I'm
They're
saying?
sparring
So
What about
partners.
Larry Holmes? What about Larry Holmes?
Yeah. Ali was, you know, that's how things used to happen. Sonny Liston, Foreman, those. I mean, Evander Holyfield was Tyson's sparring partner.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes sparring partners, I mean, but I get what you're saying though. I definitely get what you're saying because he's been a sparring partner for a long
He
period of
hasn't
time.
carved out his career. He doesn't have a legacy at 33. He doesn't have a viral moment at 33. He lost. Like there isn't like top rank. I don't
his
know, man.
best days were at 130. You
I actually don't like this fight. By the way, because for knowing Albert's career and his journey and the years he's put in, like John, who was saying, which I agree, I wanted him to fight Andy Cruz for the title eliminator. It sucks that he has to come in on late replacement and fight a fellow Ohio guy like Abdullah Mason
Hmm.
for his big shot at 33. You know, I wish it,
In
I don't like
Cleveland.
I
in
thought
Cle
Andy
in
Cruz
Cleve
gonna beat him.
in
I thought Andy
in
Cruz gonna
Cleveland.
beat him.
In Cleveland. In
I,
Cleveland.
I thought Andy Cruz was gonna beat him though. You said you
Those,
thought Bell. Now I
I
thought
had
Cruz.
what's crazy is Bell was a plus 480 against Cruz, and he's only a plus 280 against Abdullah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because he's from Ohio. If Bell was from Pennsylvania, it would be
Uh,
the odds would be different. Like the traders, they take all that into account. But go ahead.
okay, okay.
but Mason is being positioned as the future of American boxing, and if Bell comes in and gets a win, man, it's I'm
It
trying
would
to
be
figure.
massive.
Man,
Let me say one more thing about the background because this is very important for people betting. Listen, the judges were already picked. This is a Cleveland card. The person who's coming in as a replacement fight is Albert Bell. The person who did not have a full camp is Albert Bell. The person who's not going to be all the way ready is going to be Albert Bell. So don't get caught slipping saying, "Oh, I think Bell going to win by decision." Listen, if there's 3 or 4 swing rounds, the judges may lean towards the champion. This shit happens all the time. So don't get caught with your pants down. So for anybody new to betting, if the fight's in UK, like next week, we got Harlem Eubank versus David Papa. It's in the UK. Who am I leaning on? Fucking Harlem Eubank. So don't get confused. Don't think like, oh, just because this person's a better boxer. If there's swing rounds, it is gonna go to the champion. So
in
don't be
America,
surprised.
the back foot boxer is never he's never given the credit he's given in Europe. You can't. It's very difficult to win a fight
Unless you
in
Shakur.
America
Unless
on
you
the back
Shakur.
foot. On the back
Unless
foot.
you unless you
You,
Shakur, because Shakur
Yeah,
definitely won on the
outside of
back foot.
Shakur, you ain't
well,
getting no
Shakur,
love.
hold on. Other than the Edwin De Los Santos fight, when was Shakur a back foot fighter? Shakur,
He fought a little bit on the back foot when he fought T.O., like in the latter half. In the
I
latter
thought
half of the
Shakur
fight,
was on his front foot countering the entire time.
yeah, I mean, if you watch like the latter half, because Shakur is a tale of two fighters. He fights amazing rounds 1 through 5, and then rounds 6 through 10. He deals with injuries. He has that Mayweather problem. His hands get beat up, so he's like not trying to throw as much, and he's just more countering. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of his fights go the distance. It's because of his, like his frame. Like some
He,
people who's
he
built to like.
he's
Go
had
ahead.
numerous hand surgeries. He had numerous hand surgeries.
What when you say to be able to have the skill set to actually be able to choose? Could you imagine if Nick Flaz had the skill set to be able to choose to fight off the back foot and still win a fight against a slugger? Not every that like that to me shows you the dimensions of Shakur Stevenson.
Shakur
Exactly.
is not looking for the knockout. He
But
is not at all. He's saying
Shakur's
I'm trying to
special.
keep.
I think Shakur's special.
I
I
think he's
got
special too, but he's
I
not
got my
a.
top 5,
He's
and
rare,
Shakur's in it. I got
and
my
I'm
top
gonna
five
pick you
decision
real.
fighters.
He to me
Sha-
right now, if he retired,
mhm.
Shakur, if he retired right now, I would say he was the greatest defensive fighter ever.
Never
Seriously,
gets
I
hit.
mean,
No,
28
no.
years old, 4 division world champion, has
four
won titles
division.
at 26, 30, 35, and 40, never gets touched, neutralizes big punchers. Dude, counterboxes, catch and shooting in the pocket, could use a ring if he wants, could pressure you if he wants. They gave him a swarmer. What did the swarmer do? Couldn't touch him. They gave him the big puncher. What did the big puncher do? Couldn't touch him. Dude, of course they gave him the athlete. Remember all these narratives? Who was the swarmer? The Mexican kid,
Cepeda.
Cameron. Zepeda couldn't touch him.
Mhm.
The Dominican De Los Santos couldn't touch him. Teo, he's a better athlete. There were guys in our Discord who took Teo. I was like, you guys are smoking dope. This is
No
Definitely
crazy.
smoking.
cuts, no
So who beats him?
bruises,
So, no,
no
never
I,
beat
abrasions.
nothing.
I don't like
To be a
I don't
four
like him
division
fighting.
champ,
Four.
no bruises, no scrapes. Does
And
he
I think
need a
I,
he's
cut
meaner than
man?
people
Does he
think.
need a
I
cut
think
man?
I think he's meaner than people. Like, dude, I feel his shortcomings when punching is his own hesitation with, like you boys already talked about, his history of handbrakes. You could kind of like that leaves something on you. He doesn't want to be out for another year because he has a broken, metacarpal in his right hand. And so I don't know. I what he's able to do with negating somebody's strengths and then using that against them at the highest level. When do we see that? We don't
without
see.
clinching. He
We
doesn't
see
really
him.
clinch too.
But we haven't really seen him fight somebody who's on his level, like a Devin Haney in that
That's the
boxing,
one.
but
That's
who's bigger. Or
that.
I'm gonna hit you with something else. Dalton Smith. I mean, like Dalton Smith got that one punch fight changer.
I don't
Or
know. I think Shakur. I think Shakur with domestic. I think Dalton Smith. He doesn't have the levels to be able to.
Adam
He.
Azim. Adam Azim.
I think
That. I
Shakur.
mean,
I
I'm
I
just
thought
like
only
Adam. I
Hitchens
comparing
could
like
give him
both
fighters.
some
guys.
problems. I
I
thought
like British boxing. I like both guys. By the way,
I
I think.
thought Hitchens could give him some problems. You know what I'm saying?
I want to say. I think Devin. I just think with Devin's speed, his twitchiness. I'd love to see Devin and Shakur.
But that's what I'm saying, because like I'm saying that like if he fought some people, like I feel like if he fights Dalton Smith, that's a hard fight. I'm not saying Shakur couldn't win. Shakur is definitely the better
I think
boxer.
you know what?
Well,
I think Dalton Smith Shakur would look like Gary Antoine Russell Ryo.
yeah, I can see that.
I think that's
I
what
can
it would look like.
no, and I can definitely see that. So like, but not just Dalton Smith. Again, Adam Azim, he's
Adam Azim
very quick,
speed,
and he
but
has
it's not.
power.
You got to be able to make those decisions and set traps and use feints and tell the story. Shakur's telling stories in there. He's level changing, jabbing to the body, getting you to bite, then stepping off, then countering you up top, and then after 2 rounds, you're questioning fucking everything. Like this is what
Yeah,
people who have never boxed before don't understand is happening when you think you're a big puncher, you think you're a front foot forward pressure slugger sort of guy, and you're in there with a dude like Shakur, and you're just dumbfounded. You don't know. I just come forward now. That's all I do now.
He would
Like,
those
lose
are
at
the
147. I
well,
think
that
those
if
are the
he
only three fights that I don't want
if
to see Shakur in.
if
Adam
he
I think it was
Azim.
Andre Ward that said what you said, Julius. He said certain when fighters lose who is as talented as Shakur Stevenson, it's not the fighter who beats them, it's when they move up. It's the weight class that beats them.
So Johnny, let's get back to this weekend. Let's do it one more time. So
Oh
who
yeah.
do we all got? So like for the people in the chat who just joined in, who do we all got? Who do you got, Johnny? And by what? Like the three
Okay.
out of
So
three
for
fights.
free, for full transparency for the JSB insiders, you guys will know my takes. I put in a 4 leg on Monday that was plus money on the money line. I took Scooter Davis, I took Shushu, I took Abdullah, and I took Tiger. And at the time it was plus 105 just to win. So I have a full
Smart.
unit on that bet. It's down to like 72%. So I have that. I have Abdullah by knockout. And then those are the 2 plays I have on that card. And I'm waiting for the weigh-ins to do a double prop play. I want to see what Bruce looks like on the scales. I want to see what Tiger. I want to see what Palacio looks like, and I want to see what Chris looks like. And then I'm gonna
Hell yeah.
decide. I'll do a double Tiger and Shushu, whether on points or stoppage. It'll be crazy plus money. I also
Hell yeah.
tomorrow, guys, check your books. Japan. There's a fight that I taped. Narai's fighting. He's a plus 150 on the money line. He's gonna get knocked out. In Australia, we have a knockout prop at plus 110. I posted that. So that's Japan tomorrow. But those are my takes. Who are your takes, Al? Ali?
No. Oh, I want Julius to go after me. Go ahead. No, I mean before me. Go ahead, Julius. What you got? Because I know
okay,
you changed your mind, but go. What do you got on the three fights?
I got distance on Carrington
For Mason.
Palacio.
Okay, distance for Carrington Palacio. Okay.
I like Johnson by points.
Tiger Johnson by points. That's what Julius got.
That's a fight nobody. I like Sajo by KO. That's like
Oh yeah,
minus.
that's the French card. That's the French card.
I like
Don't
him by
sleep.
stoppage.
All those
Oh, no
French A sides are
distance.
gonna win.
I would
Those
say
French.
no. I'll put that no distance. I seen it at minus 300. I put that no distance. Put no distance on the Japanese card. No distance on
Mm-hmm.
that card. And then
Mm-hmm.
if we could put I think they might drop some props. Looking on the props on the Scooter Davis, those fights, they may drop some props for them tomorrow. I put them in the parlay, but my main one I'm looking at the biggest one, uh man, I would say yeah, distance with Palazzo. That's right there. I got that at plus 150. I'm going big on that one. I
Let's
like
go.
that. I like that
Okay.
one.
Get
We
it.
All
we
right.
Carrington, he helped us out before, man, with that plus
Yeah.
six
Okay.
hundred, man.
But the thing is, Julius, we've won money on them on both sides. We've hit them at plus 600 by knockout before and plus 600 on points before. So
Oh yeah.
you know. How
All
about
right.
you,
Me,
Ali?
I'm leaning more conservative. I got Abdullah Mason on a three-way most power punches landed. Fight to start round two, and Abdullah Mason on a three-way. That's for Abdullah Mason. I got Tiger Johnson, most punches landed. Fight to start round three, and him on a three-way. These are called same game parlays.
Where is that paying? What are those
Yeah.
odds though?
What's your book, man?
Um,
I'm trying to figure,
Yeah,
what's
what
his
book
book?
do you got?
I'm trying to figure out what book he got.
Everybody who's in the Patreon, I'll say it because like I feel like the books they be listening to me, so like I don't want to
What's
say
your name in
shit
the
like,
Patreon, bro? Oh no,
Vulture.
What's your name in the Discord?
I'm the Vulture. I'm the
Oh,
gambling Vulture.
you're the gambler, dude. Are you
That's me.
you're sharing your tickets, right?
I'm sharing my tickets. Yeah, I share
Yeah,
my tickets.
good. All right, you
So
guys be switching up names on me.
no, I got the same name, man. I'm Al Bundy, the gambling
Oh,
Vulture. So like,
oh, Youngstown,
yeah,
Ohio. You're Al Bundy.
yeah, I'm Al Bundy.
Oh, come on. He's from my
You already
hometown,
know.
bro. Youngstown,
That's
Ohio.
right.
Let's go.
Stand up, Youngstown.
Let's
Yeah, you
go.
feel me? And then with Shushu, I got Shushu most punches landed as well. I
What
feel
is
like
that paying?
Shushu.
What are props like that paying though? Like you said, Abdullah most power punches. You said Tiger most.
It, what see the thing is like Abdullah Mason is like a minus 400, right? What you do is you go in there, depend on the like FanDuel and another app. You know what I mean? I'll put it in the thing. FanDuel and another app. This app listens to everybody. It's like the number one app in the world. It's green. You should know what it is. But either or, they got something called same game parlay. And I don't. Let me tell you this right here. I don't recommend betting three ways except in the United States. Because in the UK, you bump your head, it goes to a draw. There's no contest in the UK for everybody who's listening. But in the United States, there's no draw happening this fucking weekend. There's no draw. You know what I mean? This is a top ranked card. It's where you see draws. So when I say three-way, I'm saying that Abdullah Mason at minus 400 plus him landing the most punches is going to be Abdullah Mason landing the most power punches might be like a minus 500. This is going to shrink it down to like minus 200. That's what I'm saying. So if anybody's listening, Abdullah Mason, fight starts round two. That prop is like minus 2,000 or something like that. But it shrinks that minus 400 down to like minus 350. And then most power punches shrinks that down to like minus 200. You get what I'm saying? So like, just in case Abdullah Mason knocks him out in round four. The reason I give these props is because like, I gave these props before, like on another thing.
And this is your style.
Get,
Is this your general style of betting?
It depends on the fight. Like for instance, like Sky Nicholson, I love to say Sky Nicholson most punches landed because she's a defensive fighter. It's rare that she gets hit, and when she's throwing a punch, she only throws it when she knows that she can land.
But
so
you're creating parlays with these props. I mean,
exactly, and and just with this one specifically,
this is all new to me.
Abdullah Mason, most power punches landed. I don't think that that I feel like Albert Bell's going to be on the back foot. I feel like he's going to be hesitant, and I feel like the moment he gets hit, it's going to make him rethink his fighting strategy. And
I think Bell's getting stopped on the ropes. I could see him getting stopped on the ropes.
But last week my prop was Jerron Ennis. I bet a crazy amount of money on Ennis. I don't even want to say it, but my bet was Jerron Ennis, most power punches landed. And what do you know? You know what I mean? It shrunk his minus 400 down to like a minus 200. And oh yeah, it definitely hit. Yeah. So like, but you want to be careful because he got hit a lot. You know what I mean?
How are you tracking that? Like during the fight, how are you tracking?
Box.
That's what they use it. They use CompuBox.
But CompuBox has live stats?
Yeah, I mean, like during the fight, it'll tell you like round 3, this person landed 30 punches.
No,
this person
I did not know that.
Yeah, but like the thing, I don't like CompuBox. I don't like betting stats all the time. I only like betting stats when you have a dominant fighter like a Shakur Stevenson. Like Shakur versus T.O., my bet was Shakur 3-way. He was like a minus 400. And then Shakur most punches landed.
You bring up a good point. I want to ask the boys real quick. You brought up a good point. There's 72 people in here like this video. Everybody in here who thinks Albert Bell is going to win, and I'm talking about a point that Ali just triggered in my head about punches landing and everything. You think that with his volume or lack thereof, and with his power or lack thereof, he's going to beat Abdullah Mason by choosing and picking his spots and stopping Abdullah Mason? Like I don't see what, because we've had
Mm-mm.
more than one person say that in this chat, and I don't know if they're saying that because they're from Toledo. Like I'm really interested in wanting somebody to come on and tell me a path to victory for Bell to beat Mason. I'm still kind of fixated on that.
Yeah, y'all gotta
But
come on. But Jay Husky just said he haven't seen the same game parlay. It's on FanDuel and it's
Oh,
on Bet three six
FanDuel.
five.
Okay.
FanDuel and Bet365 for people in the United States, but Bet365 is worldwide, so you get to see that prop.
shout out
And
to
don't
Pittsburgh Black. I played college baseball at the
Well, not
University of
everybody in the
Pittsburgh.
United States can get that stuff though.
Yeah.
yeah, but for the degenerates, not most punches thrown. Never bet most punches thrown. That gets manipulated all the time. I said most punches landed specifically. I said
Okay.
most power punches landed.
Ali? What do you say to DJ who says betting huge bread on CompuBox stats is wild?
It is wild when the fighter. It is wild when you have a low output fighter, but like when I'm doing my tape, I'm looking at CompuBox. Like I know the numbers. Google Tiger Johnson versus Google Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes. Sam Noakes threw 600 punches. Abdullah Mason threw 527 punches. Out of those punches, Abdullah Mason outlanded him in power punches by 20.
But you
And you
say
can Google
power
that.
punches. What's
Power
not a
punches.
power punch? You
A
talking about
jab. A
so
jab
anything
is
that's
not.
not a jab. Anything that's
No,
not a jab.
but if you throw a stab jab to the body, that can be considered a power punch.
That's what I'm
Abdullah Mason like
saying.
to throw.
That's
He throws in combination though. Abdullah Mason does his spurts. When you throwing a hook to the head, that's a power punch. To a hook to the body, left right, that's a power punch. Punches to the like Abdullah Mason, his whole game is power punches. He'll throw the jab, but just to close the distance to throw in combination, to throw power punches at your body. So like, and that is this those sequences is where Abdullah Mason's is good. With Bell, he's good at throwing the jab, but like I just feel like it's gonna be the power differences and the punches to the body. Johnny already said that earlier. Like I feel like the body shots are gonna break Bell down. Me too.
That's where I
But
see
I
it.
feel like, but from a stat perspective, I think Abdullah Mason is gonna land more power punches on Albert Bell.
All
Like
right,
y'all
guys.
saying,
I want to
that
get your opinion on this comment because this is a reoccurring comment over the whole week. Shout out to a JSB insider, Boss Christos. He says Albert Bell could use his veteran experience to out savvy Mason, but A-side scoring is a worry. Remember when Angeletti, mid-30s, came in and got the job done? People were questioning him. I know opponents are different. Well, Angeletti wasn't in his mid-30s,
you 29.
and he was 29 years old. And veteran, the only reason I highlighted that comment is because we need to, just because you're 33 doesn't mean you're a veteran. A veteran in
exactly.
boxing is high level, world class experience. That's what veteran is. Albert Bell at 33 has never fought a 12 rounder. Albert Bell at 33 has never fought for a world title, never been a world champion. You could say the 22-year-old who's the world champion is the
More
veteran. Like
experienced fighter. Yes, yes, you
we can't
can.
just use age. We can't just use age. Shout out to
Yeah, because
Christos.
like but just to give another example, like we seen Jamar Herring versus Shakur Stevenson when they fought. I consider Shakur Stevenson to be the more savvy veteran fighter in there against the former champion or the champion in Jamal Herring. So like I honestly think that and it's because of the years of experience. You're talking about Shakur been fighting since he was a kid, and then by the time he got into that championship fight at 130 and he did his thing, he was the more experienced fighter. I think in this case this fight is it's on like we can't ignore athleticism. We cannot ignore power. You know what I mean? We cannot, especially in a fight where there's going to be 50-50 exchanges. So like everybody's if Albert had 7 more knockouts, I would be where everybody else is. But what I've seen on tape, that how he positions his high guard is very dangerous against a power puncher, any power puncher. You know what I mean? Tank was able to take advantage of Rolly because Rolly doesn't position his hands correctly sometimes. He learned after that fight, but he got knocked the fuck out. And that's the same with this dude. All it's going to take is Mason to close the distance and do what he doesn't do in sparring. Because in sparring, you hold back. Anybody who's a good sparring partner will hold back, but you will take notes. It's a reason he took this fucking fight. You know what I mean? He'll close that distance. He's going to see that high guard low within that 12 rounds. distance, he's gonna land a fucking crazy combination, and we're gonna see Albert Bell on his ass. I'm not saying he'll get knocked out. I'm just saying he's gonna get knocked down, and that's another prop for you guys. There's gonna be one knockdown in the main event. There's gonna be at least one knockdown.
John
Mason is gonna.
STF, shout out to John STF. You're in the chat right now. You're live right now, Julius. John's back. I know he's taking Albert Bell. John, give us a path to victory for Albert Bell to be Mason.
Hell yeah.
So I feel like with how Top Rank does things, it's a possibility it could be a draw. It's a possibility it could be a draw. So I placed a bet for a draw with all the A sides, and I also placed a bet with all the A sides and Mason money line, because if it's a draw, that bet get voided and I still get paid out. But the reason why I feel like Bell has a chance, because like I said earlier, the experience level, and he's been in the ring with him, and his level of understanding the game and grasp of understanding the game is a lot different than Mason's, because
So you're
like I
saying
said
life
earlier,
experience. You're just saying because he's older, his life experience. Because what's his best win? He's not stopping. He's not stopping domestic guys.
so from my research is that his right hand was really damaged, because I seen in one fight, I can't remember the name of the fight, but he was trying to push the guy, but he threw the right hand, and it made him walk away, like just a quick reaction, and he had to get back into the fight. He got that hand fixed because he had to go to like 5 different doctors, and the fifth doctor figure out what
Are you talking
the
about
problem
Bell?
was. Yes, I'm talking about Bell. So I seen one of his fights that happened in 2023. I seen his style changed, and he was way more aggressive, way more aggressive. There is a viral moment of him. I didn't realize it was him until now. I started doing my research, but it's a moment where the guy, he tries to dip and feint, and then Bell, he just met him down low with his hand, and he dropped him, and then he went to the ropes, and Bell just went on top of him dancing. That's the viral moment. I don't know if you've seen that, but I
Well, you're
just
talking
feel
about the Jonathan Romero knockout in 2024. But what I'm saying though is, you think, what did he look like 6 months ago against Keith Hunter? Did you watch that fight?
I cannot find that fight anywhere. I've been looking everywhere for that fight. I can't find that fight. I don't know where
Yeah,
it's at.
they shared it in our Discord. Do you think so you I have to I don't think there's a draw. I think any close rounds are going to go to Abdullah. I think it's in Cleveland, it's Top Rank. Abdullah's the champion. There's no way I don't see it happening. But I want how paint a picture for me how Bell beats him.
All right. I feel like how Bell beats him, there's either two ways, but I feel like the best way he can go is to be aggressive and to like really like put a beating on him.
See, that's how I think he gets stopped. I think you think Albert Bell is going to be able to over aggressive and overpower Abdullah?
When I say aggressive, like I'm talking about like in your face, but like trying to
fight
get
him in the
to
pocket.
counter.
Fight
You know what I'm
him in the
saying?
pocket.
Come again?
Like fight him in the pocket.
50-50 exchanges. Like in the
Yeah,
50-50.
yeah, he's in his face, but he's just trying to like get him to throw something counter and react. And Mason, he loves to have his high guard up, and he loves to dip down. So I feel like it's a chance Bell can like meet him with an uppercut as Mason's dipping down towards that hand. And also, he's a switch hitter too. I don't know if you guys know that. He switches in the ring.
With bad defense.
You said bad
I
defense?
Yeah.
Jonathan
my
Romero was like 38 years old, and he was a champion at like 26. And
yeah.
when he stopped him, Romero was fighting at 35, and he 38, 39 years old. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I think I just think this is a clear young world champion who's a phenom on his way up, just catching dudes. And I think Albert Bell is just one of these guys. He's just going to be on his resume. I don't see,
Yep.
if Albert Bell had a little bit more power or explosivity, that maybe he could get Abdullah's respect in the pocket and then get Abdullah guessing his offensive game plan. Abdullah's not going to have to go to a plan B against Albert Bell. It'll take him a while to figure out that tricky, awkward style because Bell will use the entire ring. He's long, but I think Abdullah should be able to figure the jab out, work the body, and get him on the ropes. That's how I see it going.
But tomorrow, my biggest thing, I want to look at this. Remember, I would think if you look at Mason's last weigh-ins, he's so dehydrated, he has to take
Yeah,
his drawers
he
off. You
doesn't
know what I'm
cut
saying?
well. He doesn't. Abdullah doesn't cut well.
If he has to do that tomorrow, well, they have to bring a towel out there in front of him so he can take his clothes off to make it. That's how extreme it is for him. If that happens tomorrow, yeah, I would say we leaning. I'm leaning on that over in them
But
points. But
let me
if
ask
he
you,
come in
do
tomorrow and he is looking just kind of okay on the way in, Abdullah 7 through 12. If he
but
looking kind of okay, if
Julius, when has he ever not rehydrated properly? Even when he looks like he's about to die, he rehydrates back up to 155 pounds, and he's knocking fools the fuck
And
out.
this is where I think that when he gets those flash knockdowns a couple fights ago, it's due to the rehydration process. When you cut all that weight, your brain you're not as durable. You're not able to take as much damage as you would normally. And when this kid is sparring in the gym, you could tell Abdullah is a kid who fights on fight night exactly how he spars. But the difference is when he on fight night, he would have already cut X amount of weight, and he's not at his fighting weight. So he is a little bit sort of at 135, he's a little bit susceptible to the lack of durability. Is he chinny? I would not call him chinny at all. I would call him a dog, explosive, southpaw, power in both hands, believes in his game plan, the connection with his corner. Exit, like there's a lot to like about Mason.
And
Ali,
good.
you cannot keep destroying your body to that extent.
Mhm.
I'm talking about. I see these dudes. I'm talking about they
You mean the weight
soaking up
cuts? You mean the weight
the
cuts?
the level of what they do in the
Bro,
weight cuts is so extreme
yeah,
that
bro.
it's not what it was 20 years ago.
Shout
This
out.
is
I was
what
yeah,
they couldn't 30, 40 pounds, man. This is
bro.
no.
I was close friends with you know, he passed away, Rumble Johnson. I've known Rumble for 15 years, man. They like
Wow.
when yeah, I've known I have interviews on my YouTube of interviewing Rumble back like in 2013, and there's people in the
Better
know.
drop that. Drop that shit.
No, they're on my channel.
I'm
Dude,
gonna
I've
check
been
it
in
out.
the
I'm gonna check it out. I
I've been in the
know.
game for a while, but there's people in the like shout out to Dr. Corey Peacock. He's a head strength and conditioning scientist down in South Florida. He was Rumble's hands-on strength and conditioning coach for over a decade. What I've been told is that that form of
50
aggressive
pounds.
cancer that he got that took his life in his late 30s was due
Yeah.
to over a decade of massive weight cutting and shrinking the body. And he wasn't
Mm.
the only one. If you remember, there was another UFC fighter from Canada. He had a very pretty kid, long hair. His nickname was the Spartan. He would cut
Yeah,
like
I know you're talking about.
he
Yeah, I
would
know you're
cut
talking
like
about.
50 pounds. Dude,
He was.
Rumble
It
would
was.
walk around at 240 when he fought for the World Series of Fighting. And he would fight at 170. He broke in the UFC fighting at welterweight at 170 and would walk
Yeah,
at
I
like
remember.
230.
Yeah, I remember, and you're right about that. But let me say something else to the people in the chat, like just to address this. Mason has fought better punchers. All the fighters that he fought, like go look at their record. They got better knockout. This is the lowest fight when it comes to knockout to record ratio. Albert Bell, I mean, like Nakatila has 21 knockouts. Albert Bell has 9. The dude that dropped Abdullah Mason, he had like 10 fucking first round stoppages. Bell
Yeah,
didn't
Johan
have 10 for.
Vasquez. Johan Vasquez was a puncher. Abdullah fought him when he was 19. People
That's what
are
I'm
The
like,
saying.
he was
the
a
He's
teenager.
fighting punchers. He's fighting
Yeah,
punchers. This is not a puncher. So
yeah.
the
like this is
weight cut.
Sam
I feel
Noakes. Sam
man,
Noakes.
I
Sam
feel like his
Noakes is
hand
a
injuries
puncher.
played a factor, man.
The
Sam
He
Noakes
weight
been
is a
having
cut.
that
puncher.
hand injury
Hold on,
The
for
weight
hold on,
cut is
hold on.
more for the
I want to hear
explosivity.
John. John, go on,
Good.
John.
you said what?
What were you saying? I want to hear your perspective because you're siding with Bell, and we were talking. I want to hear what you were going to say on that.
Nah,
Yeah.
he was saying that he don't have that much knockouts, but I just felt like his hand injury over the years because his hand's been hurting since he was younger, going into his professional career. It's just that he couldn't find the right hand doctor. But now that he found the right hand doctor, and now that he's stalking people, because when I seen that first fight, he really wasn't stalking the dude like that. But this fight that happened in 2023, I just can't remember the dude's name. He was stalking him. He added another layer and another level to his game. And I just feel like that just make him more versatile than Mason. Mason is, to me, he's just too young. It's just like the Xander in the Boots situation. I feel like Boots' experience just out through Xander. And I just feel like this is another play of it right here. We just don't know too much about the dude. We just putting him off. I feel like.
Mason got the higher reach too. Just to let you know, he got the longer reach between him and Bell. So that jab, that speed, you know, Bell's
I
like
think this
built
is a
like a.
good. I'm not. Krista says Bell is crafty enough to survive. I think Albert Bell, if anything, he could survive, and that's my risk on my knockout prop. Is because he's skilled. He's a real pro. He could survive if he wants to, and he can make it a very negative fight. I don't see him doing anything strategically to beat Abdullah.
Me either.
But yeah,
And, you
man,
know,
it was nice talking with y'all, Dolphin
Yeah,
Head.
I got to run too, boy. Hey, so everybody who came on board, the JSB Insiders, Ali, we need to do it again. John STF, it's good to get you to come on live as well. I'll be putting
appreciate
all
it.
the stuff in the Discord. You guys can come on anytime, man.
We gotta do the MMA one, dude. We gotta do the
Oh, we'll
MMA
do.
next one
All right,
for
we'll do one.
Connor.
I'll hold you to it.
It was good. It was good, John. Johnny,
All right,
always good, yo.
appreciate you.
I
All right,
Appreciate
yo.
you,
appreciate y'all
boys.
boys, man.
Stay
Thanks
up,
for y'all
boys.
time.
Yeah, y'all be good.
And 70 of you guys in here, we're almost on for 2 hours. It's why I always say we hands down have the most educated community. Those guys are in our Discord. If you want to join us, a couple bucks a month, you're not just getting our bets. You're becoming part of a community that is going to be able to talk, disagree with each other. You see how we did that? We could disagree with each other, drop facts, and we could. Our meeting point is boxing. We're not fans of fighters. This is where I think a lot of YouTube content creators get it wrong. I'll never have the biggest boxing channel on YouTube because I'm not a casual, and I'm fine with that. That's not my goal. My goal is always to grow a well-rounded, researched, insightful boxing community, and that's what we're doing. Our Discord started last August. We're about 530. The chat, there's still 70 of you in here, man. Smartest community, hands down on the internet. So I thank everybody for tuning in. It's one of my longest live streams ever. I'll be putting more tickets up. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you.